please rise and help me welcome the Prime Minister of this wonderful country of Canada, the Right Honourable Stephen Harper.
Everyone for that welcome. Thank you, Constable Abdi, for that kind introduction. And I know that with the help of everyone here, you're going to make a great Member of Parliament for the good people of Ottawa. Friends, Lorene, Rachel, Ben, and I are delighted to be here. And I want to begin also by thanking not just Abdul, but all of the great Conservative candidates, the team for the Greater Ottawa area that's joined us here today. Give them one more round of applause. And thanks to all of you for being here as well. Now, Abdul, I know that as a police officer, what we're here to talk about today is a matter that's very close to your heart. Cette élection est une question de leadership sur les enjeux majeurs qui nous préoccupent tous, notre économie et la sécurité de notre pays. This is an election about leadership on the big issues that affect us all, our economy and our nation's security. The outcome will have real consequences for you and your family, for your community and our country. Friends, we all know we live in ever more dangerous times. Presque tous les jours, nous voyons la montée mondiale de violents mouvements djihadistes. The global rise of the violent jihadist movement is something we are reminded of in some part or other of the world almost every day. It's taken its strongest and most savage form yet in ISIS, the so-called Islamic State. It and its supporters have threatened Canada and Canadians by name, and last October we witnessed terror attacks, the brutal murder of 2 brave Canadian soldiers here on our own soil. Ce sont des menaces qui ne vont pas disparaître et nous n'avons pas d'autre choix que les affronter. These are threats that are not going to go away, and we have no choice but to confront them. That's why the men and women of the Canadian Armed Forces are working every day with our broad international coalition of allies and partners to take the fight to ISIS in Iraq and Syria, and I say it again, thank God we have them willing to risk their lives over there to help protect us here at home. Their backs on our country, indeed turn their backs on civilization itself to travel overseas to join jihadist causes. Eventually, some will try to return home, bringing with them whatever terrorist training they received to become a direct threat to the security of this country. La menace est bien réelle. Il y a des Canadiens qui sont apparus dans des vidéos du soi-disant État islamique menaçant le Canada. The threat is real. There are Canadians who have appeared in ISIS videos threatening Canada and Canadians. Their threats are clear and they are chilling. We are coming, they say, and we will destroy you. Friends, chers amis, notre gouvernement prend déjà des mesures fermes pour prévenir les attaques terroristes en sol canadien. Our government has already taken strong action to prevent terrorist attacks on our soil, including steps to curb this so-called terror tourism. Thanks to our efforts, it's now a crime to leave or even to try to leave Canada in order to take part in terrorist activities. Les autorités canadiennes peuvent maintenant retirer la citoyenneté aux individus ayant la double nationalité reconnus coupables de terrorisme, de trahison ou d'espionnage. Canadian authorities can now strip citizenship from dual citizens convicted of terrorism, treason, or spying. And if you're a permanent resident seeking citizenship when you're convicted of one of these crimes, you will never get it. agencies the modern tools they need to investigate terrorist threats, including additional tools to counter the promotion of terrorism and the recruitment of terrorists in Canada, to disrupt attacks before they happen, and prevent would-be terrorists from leaving the country. But there is more we can and must do. Un gouvernement conservateur réélu fera en sorte que le fait de se rendre à des endroits désignés par le gouvernement comme étant des foyers d'activité terroriste sera une infraction criminelle. Again, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm announcing today, a re-elected Conservative government will designate travel to places that are ground zero for terrorist activity a criminal offense. Designation of declared areas. We are talking about the most dangerous places on earth where governance is non-existent and violence is widespread and brutal. There are very few legitimate reasons to go to places like these. And those who go without such legitimate reasons will face the full force of the law. Friends, there is no higher purpose for your national government than ensuring the safety and security of Canadians. Our opponents just do not get that. Seul notre parti conservateur reconnaît la gravité que la menace du terrorisme djihadiste mondial représente pour notre pays. Only our Conservative Party recognizes the gravity of the threat this country faces from global jihadist terrorism. We have a clear and proud record of standing up against it and defending our country, and we will never cease our efforts to keep Canadians safe and Canada secure. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, and with that, the Prime Minister will take questions from the media. When I call your name, please come up to the microphone here on my right. We'll begin with Jordan Press from the Canadian Press, please.
Good morning, Prime Minister. So this announcement this morning obviously expands on some of the work that your government has already done. I'm curious, just given the fact that a number of Canadians, obviously in the recent weeks, have talked about Bill C-51, have been interested in civil liberties, how do you ensure that civil liberties aren't encroached too much with this particular promise, given that you have people who are going for humanitarian reasons, for journalistic reasons, trying to go over to these regions, and then they have to prove that when they get back? How do you ensure that their liberties are maintained? And if you could answer in English and French.
Sure. Well, first of all, let's be clear. There is absolutely no right in this country to travel to an area under the governance of terrorists. That is not a human right. And we all know, like, we're not under any illusion here, what just about everybody going to an area like that is doing. And that's the reason to pursue this particular policy that's been used in other countries. Now, yes, there could be, theoretically, there could be legitimate reasons. People can belong to aid organizations that occasionally go there. Obviously, a diplomat could be sent there, I suppose, under certain rare circumstances. Journalists, perhaps, but we all know what happens to journalists in some of those areas as well. So, look, there are a few legitimate reasons. There will be exceptions in the law for those legitimate reasons. I don't think people who have legitimate reasons will have difficulty showing those, but we know what other people are doing there. And this is something we've got to nip in the bud before trained terrorists return to this country.
We'll continue with Lori Graham, CTV, please.
Prime Minister, the Duffy trial is starting next week, and as you're campaigning, you have said that because it's before the courts, you can't really talk about it, but now you are before Canadians asking for their support. And many Canadians believe that you haven't been clear. The opposition says you haven't been clear. So perhaps now you can clear the air. What was meant by good to go?
Well, look, first of all, on the trial itself, you know, as soon as I learned about this particular matter, we brought in the authorities, and we've been working with the authorities, and people are being held accountable. The words you're quoting are not my words; they're somebody else's. I have said repeatedly, and I think the facts are clear. I did not know about that Mr. Wright had made a payment to Mr. Duffy. As soon as I learned that, I made that public. And Mr. Wright has been clear about that. And the very document you're quoted also makes that clear. The RCMP investigated and said that is the case. So, this is the purpose of the process. Those who are responsible will be held accountable, and I'll let the court do its work.
Merci. On continue avec Emmanuel Latraverse, RDI.
Oui, mais M. Harper, on est quand même, vous êtes un premier ministre qui sollicite un 4e mandat, qui fait du leadership, de votre leadership, l'élément central de votre campagne électorale pour convaincre les Canadiens de vous faire confiance. On embarque quand même dans une situation assez souriante pendant les 2 prochaines semaines. Ce procès-là va être au cœur de la campagne électorale, au cœur du débat public. C'est votre ancien chef de cabinet qui va témoigner. Qu'est-ce que vous dites aux Canadiens qui vont écouter ça et qui se disent oui, leadership, mais c'est le leadership d'un premier ministre pour qui la fin justifie les moyens, finalement?
Je peux dire seulement ce que j'ai dit plusieurs reprises. Un leader ne pense que les choses vont toujours vont aller bien. La réalité des choses mauvaises passe de temps en temps. Quelle est la réaction d'un chef? Un chef fait des actions pour assurer que des gens responsables sont tenus responsables pour leurs actions. C'est ce que j'ai fait dans cette situation.
Continue with Hannah Thibodeau, CBC, please.
Hi, Mr. Harper. Very similar to what Emmanuel was talking about. You stated that this election is about stability. You made the question about leadership, and of course, we are going into the week where the Duffy trial comes back up. Your former chief of staff, Nigel Wright, is testifying. What do you say to people who will be watching that, and people will be watching it, questioning your style of leadership?
Well, I say what I've just said repeatedly, which is I don't for a moment pretend. No leader should ever believe that everything's going to go well. But when bad things happen, what a leader does is he takes immediate action to make sure people are held accountable. That's exactly what I did in this case, and that is exactly what has happened.
We'll conclude with Corey LaRocque, Ottawa Sun.
Morning, Prime Minister. I think it's not a coincidence that your announcement on the declared areas is happening here in Ottawa, which has a history of terrorism activity, including the arrests of some people who were planning to go overseas. What about the recruitment? What can your government do about recruitment by people who are recruiting these people, and where is the recruitment happening in your plan?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't say it's not a coincidence that we're doing it here, but this phenomenon of particular individuals traveling, becoming radicalized, and traveling to become terrorists is not restricted to Ottawa or to Canada. It's obviously an increasing global phenomenon. We've taken a number of actions to try and deal with the process of radicalization. For instance, in Bill C-51, we've given enhanced ability for authorities to take down any Canadian website that sponsors terrorist propaganda or terrorist recruitment type material. We have also made it an offense, a crime, to actually promote terrorism. Any form of promotion or advocacy of terrorism is now a crime. And the RCMP, through its terrorism prevention program, works with the people across the country, works particularly with vulnerable communities to try and deal with issues of radicalization. And I think, notwithstanding that this does happen, our record in Canada of preventing this and having good information on people who are becoming radicalized and people who are becoming involved in jihadist plots. We've actually had a pretty good record of detecting that ahead of time. Well, not in every case, but obviously, but in most cases. So those are the things we've done. Those are the things that we will continue doing as a government. Ladies and gentlemen, there's just one other issue I'd like to raise. I didn't get asked about it, but it did come up on the weekend, and I think it's pretty important and shouldn't be ignored, and that is the comments by a star NDP candidate, someone Mr. Mulcair has said will be in his cabinet should he be elected, that the way to deal with the crisis in the oil industry is keep the oil in the ground. That is the NDP's not-so-hidden agenda on development. I mean, let's remember, this is a party that not only has opposed every single one of these projects, this is a party where the leader actually went out of the country to lobby against Canadian projects. This is a party, for instance, in Quebec, in Northern Ontario, that binds itself with groups that are trying to shut down the Canadian forest industry. The NDP is consistently against the development of our resources and our economy. That's why they have been a disaster wherever they've been in government, and why they would wreck this economy if they ever got in, and why they must never get into power. Je veux le répéter, j'ai remarqué cette fin de semaine les commentaires d'une candidate vedette du NPD que la façon de gérer la crise dans l'industrie énergétique et d'assurer que le pétrole reste dans le terrain. En effet, la solution est le non-développement de nos ressources. Ce n'est pas une position nouvelle pour le NPD. C'est leur agenda qui nous sont vraiment cachés. La réalité est que l'NPD s'oppose à tous les projets de développement. On parle pas seulement dans l'industrie énergétique, où M. Mulcair et son équipe est venu à Washington pour s'opposer à nos ressources. Mais même si on parle de l'industrie forestière au Québec et dans le reste du Canada, où le NPD est allié avec des groupes qui sont en train de tenter de fermer encore cette industrie. C'est la raison pour laquelle, dans chaque province où le NPD a été au pouvoir, on a vu un désastre économique, et ça sera la même chose au niveau national. C'est la raison pour laquelle on devrait arrêter tout prix un gouvernement NPD de ce pays. Merci.